Hello there, everybody.
Sound like a freaking pervert.
No! Don't say that.
Okay, you sound like a weirdo.
Welcome back to This Is Reviewable.
This is our special edition sleepy episode because you can probably hear the rain in the background. So just put this on, listen to it,
Get all cozy in bed.
and fall asleep, just like me. What did you catch me doing the other night?
Oh yeah, what were you?
This-
Braden fell asleep before I got into bed, and I saw his phone was still on, and I looked over and he had a YouTube video going, and it was like the Sleepy Time story about, a history of Sleepy Time stories, a history of teddy bears.
With rain.
Yeah, with rain.
Yeah, that video works great. Definitely, I think it's, the channel is called Get Sleepy, so...
Are you promoting another YouTube channel on here?
I think it's great.
Oh my
I use
gosh.
it sometimes to fall asleep. It's really good. Anyway, what are we talking about?
So, Braden and I think we mentioned this last week, we got back from a trip recently, and we both watched these two movies on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
The Holdovers and Anatomy of a Fall.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about.
Which one do you want to do first?
I want to talk about The Holdovers first.
Oh, that's weird, because I want to talk about Anatomy of a Fall. I guess we're at an impasse.
Oh, we can talk about Anatomy of a Fall.
Oh, that's weird, because I want to talk about the Holdovers.
Oh my gosh.
I guess we got to cancel the episode.
Bye, everybody. Okay, welcome back.
We worked out our differences. We're going to talk about the Holdovers first. What's it about?
It's about an all-boys school, and it's Christmas break, and the kids who have to stay over Christmas break are called holdovers. And there's 6 kids?
Boarding school.
Yeah, boarding school.
Yeah.
And there's 6 boys and 1 teacher that have to stay over Christmas break. And one of the kids is from a very rich family, and his dad, the rich kid's dad, ends up taking everybody skiing, except for
this one kid, because they can't reach his mom to get permission, so he has to stay.
All by himself with a teacher that he doesn't like.
Yeah. Played
That's what the movie's
by...
about.
Yeah, and the teacher is Paul Giamatti, who people may know from...
Liar, liar.
He's in a ton
no.
of stuff. Yeah, you're right.
Is it that
Big
one?
Fat Liar, right?
Yeah, Big Fat
The
Liar.
one where they turn him blue.
Yeah.
He's the guy that turns blue. You may know him from the show Billions. You may know him from...
What's his name?
Paul Giamatti. He's in a ton of stuff. Yeah, he's really good in everything that he's in as well. I'm always happy when he's in a movie. Oh, he's in The Illusionist. He was in The Ides of March. Great actor, you know.
Oh yeah, he is in The Illusionist.
Anyway, he's the teacher, and he's kind of like a... Never got married. Just like...
In the movie.
Yeah, like very kind of... Like you feel sorry for him on the outside, but you can tell that like he believes in a he's got a belief set, you know, and he sticks to his belief set, and he's actually a good person. It's just that he has kind of a crusty exterior. And then the kid that he's babysitting is a troublemaker. He's been kicked out of a lot of schools, but he's got some issues that are unresolved that are making him act out, and it's not really his fault. So it's like, you know, it's your classic...
He just really wants someone to care about him.
Yeah, it's your classic, you don't understand really either of these characters until you get to spend time with them. Yeah. And then there's also a couple of side characters. There's a chef. I think she actually won Best Actress.
She did such a good job.
Yeah, but she's sort of a side character. But she's really good in the movie. Everybody's good in this movie.
Yeah.
If you can't tell, we both really liked it. I thought it was really good.
Something that was so cool about this, it came out around Christmas.
Yeah.
I think, right? The way that they filmed it makes you think it's the 80s or the 70s. It's very grainy.
When is it set? Because I think it is set a little bit.
Maybe in the 70s.
Okay. Yeah, and it's in, they're in New York, aren't they, or Boston? No, they're near Boston, so they're in Massachusetts. And it's just like, it looks like America, you know? It looks like the East Coast.
It's so funny because, what's the boy's name? Angus.
What's the teacher's name?
Paul.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, this movie, like, it's funny, as you would imagine. You've got, like, a teacher that kind of hates the student, and the student that hates the teacher, and the chef that is kind of sick of both of them and wants both of them to get over their issues, and leads to a lot of really funny moments. But then there's also a lot of really touching moments, as you could also imagine, because they're both in need of each other in some way. And
I think they need each other. The teacher, Paul, needs a bratty teenager to remind him life is worth living and to remember the small things, and you don't need to be so serious. But then Angus, the student, needs the teacher to help him realize your problems are small, or like, it's okay, you know, you're gonna get through this, or something. I don't know. They really needed to learn from each other.
Yeah. I kind of thought it felt like The Breakfast Club a little bit, but I liked it a lot more than The Breakfast Club, personally. Because, like, I don't know why, but when I watched The Breakfast Club, it just felt like a bunch of high schoolers giving speeches to each other. And
I haven't watched it since high school.
And this one sort of feels more natural to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, they both have issues. They both teach each other things in a realistic way. And I really enjoyed it. I think it's good. We're trying to watch this movie at Christmas time. Or at least I was kind of planning to make us watch it around Christmas time. Because I'd heard it was a Christmas movie. And it just slipped past us, I guess. But it's very, very worth looking into. It was nominated for Best Picture. Deservedly so. It's really good. I don't have much else to say about it, really.
You gotta rate it?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna give it a 9. A 9 broken arms in the gym.
Dang it, I was gonna use that one.
Really? That part was hilarious. I guess it wasn't broken, it was dislocated. Dislocated shoulders in the gym.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna rate this an 8.5. What's the book?
Oh, Meditations?
Yeah, an 8.5 Meditations out of 10.
That's Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, for those of you.
What, you just give this to everybody?
So funny. Yeah, really good. Go watch it. It is rated R for language. I think that's it, right? Oh, he does, like, the kid does have, like, a porno magazine at some point.
Oh yeah, there's a little bit of nudity.
But it's like a 1 second thing, and
there might be a couple.
Yeah, but like it's
mostly just for language.
It's such a shame because, you know, I like that it's rated R because they're allowed to say
whatever they want.
What those characters would probably say in real life. So I really like that about it, but it's a pity at the same time because you know that a lot of people are just gonna not watch it because it's rated R. And I think it's one of those movies that is like uplifting. It's edifying, you know.
And it just really everybody has problems.
Yeah.
Everybody's problems are different. Everybody has problems. Everybody's human. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next movie, Anatomy of a Fall, is about.
So it's a French movie, and it's about this couple that live in the mountains in France. And they have a chateau, and the husband.
They have a son.
Yeah, they have
like
a son.
9 or 10.
Yeah, and the son has a dog. That'll become important later if we talk about plot points. I don't think we will. Anyway, he's got a dog named Snoop. Snoop Dogg. And this couple is sort of not getting along that well. They've got their issues. And one day the son finds the dad fallen onto the ground from the top of the chateau, and he's dead. So he died from a fall. And the circumstances seem suspicious enough where they start to investigate the mom for maybe having murdered the husband. And the bulk of the movie plays out like a legal drama / personal drama where you follow the mom and the son, and then you get to see like the courtroom scenes as they're trying to figure out.
A lot of it is in French. This is a foreign film. I'd
say it's like a lot of it's in English though too, because
I would say 80% is in French.
You think so?
Yeah.
The woman is German and doesn't feel super comfortable with French, so she speaks English when she can, basically. So there's a decent amount of English.
For the most part, like the first half or 3/4 of the trial, she speaks French.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, get ready to read, but I think we actually came away from this movie feeling pretty different about it. Because you didn't really like it, right?
I didn't really like it.
Yeah. Why didn't you like it?
I don't know what my issue is.
What is your issue? Damn. Come on.
I need subtitles to watch a movie, but the moment I have to
That you actually need them?
I, like, forget how to read. Or, not that I forget how to read, I forget, like, the reading to actually computing in my brain of what the words actually mean, gone. So then I'm like, well, I don't know what's going on, because I'm reading this, but it doesn't make any sense to me. Which is so stupid, because I genuinely want the subtitles on for every movie that we ever watch. So it just becomes a bit exhausting, I think.
That's why you didn't like it?
No. But that was one of the reasons I didn't like it. I don't really enjoy foreign films like that.
Maybe you should watch it again, not on a plane.
I also thought it was kind of boring.
It is slow. But it feels... Okay, I'll say this. It feels realistic apart from some of the things that they do in the court.
Well, we don't know how it is.
Yeah, we don't know how the French court system works, but a lot of what like the prosecutors say and the questions that they ask
and we're allowed to ask was absurd to me.
Would never fly in America.
No.
Like, there would be objection after objection after objection, speculation.
Most of it
hearsay.
was speculation.
Yeah, speculation, hearsay.
And that's what bugged me, I think. Remember, I was talking to you about this afterwards? I was like, I have issue with all these things because it wouldn't fly. And I don't know how it is in France.
Yeah.
You know, but the prosecutor is having the defendant speak to her husband's feelings.
Yeah.
How does she can't speak to that.
No, yeah, that would get over, the defending lawyers would, like, tear that down, like, as so fast. That said, the rest of it feels really realistic, the rest of the movie, because the woman is just trying to deal with all this stuff. Should we spoil?
No, not at first.
Okay. Like just the way that the wife handles the accusations and everything that's going on felt really grounded in reality. The fights that they had, very, very realistic feeling. The conversations with the lawyers outside of the courtroom, and a lot of the courtroom stuff did feel realistic. It was just they would indulge in some of those crazy lines of questioning sometimes that didn't feel like they would work. But most of the courtroom stuff I liked.
The son was an incredible actor.
They're all...
No, but, like, for his age. I don't know how old he is, but he did such a good job.
I don't know what it is about this year and us watching French-ish movies.
What else did we watch?
Remember we watched Stillwater? And then the little French girl was amazing.
The best
as well.
Little actress ever.
Yeah, I don't know what... This year we've just... I guess it's only 2, but we've stumbled onto 2 French actors, little child actors that are really good.
I will say, this is either rated R or it's not rated.
It is rated R.
It's rated R. For language and...
Just there's a little bit of blood when he falls. Like, it's really not graphic.
No, like, when the husband falls out
Oh, they do an autopsy, and you get like a little close up of his head a little bit. That's a little bit.
But it's mostly just for language.
Yeah, it's tame. And plus, like, if you're not French, you're not hearing the language, you know?
Oh, you're reading it.
Did they say the F word in English? They probably do it at one point. Okay, what else? Did you say what you didn't like about it? Are you done?
It was just slow, and I didn't... Whatever, and... Yeah, just about the court stuff. I think the acting was really good.
Oh, yeah. I thought the writing was really good.
The writing was really good.
I was a big fan of some of the editing, too. Like, the whole intro scene where she's talking with that journalist who's interviewing her, and the music's playing in the background, and just the way that whole scene was constructed.
The way that I would have walked up there and yeeted that freaking stereo out the window so fast if that was me and you.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what else I liked? So they live on a mountain, basically, and it's winter. This takes place during the winter. And there's a couple of times where they're like driving up to the chateau, and it's like bad conditions outside, or they're driving down, and I was just waiting for like a horrible accident.
A deer to jump out in front of it. Some of those scenes I was just waiting.
I was waiting for a car to crash, or like, you know, she was drinking a couple of times, and then they drive, and I was just waiting for something to happen. I'm glad they didn't go that way.
Yeah.
Because like the drama of what's happening is enough.
Is this based on a real story?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't know. This is like, this article is like, is this based on a true story? Let's dig in a little.
Oh my gosh, just
yes tell me! So I don't know if it's real or not.
Yeah, anyway.
They might have, like, real, like, it might have loosely been based on something real.
Well, sort of like, maybe like Stillwater.
Yeah.
Aviato.
You want to rate it and then we can talk about spoilers?
Yeah. So I enjoyed this quite a bit. I'm going to give it an 8. An 8. No, Snoop! Out of 10.
I'm going to rate this a 7. A 7 dog vomits out of 10. Okay, so we're going to talk about spoilers. If you haven't seen this movie, skip ahead, because you should watch it probably.
I think it's really good. This was another one that got nominated for Best Picture. So we knew, on our trip, we knew that the Oscars were coming up, and I had not seen very many of the Best Picture nominees. And I knew that, you know, this was a good chance to see a couple of them, so that's part of the reason why I chose to watch this. But I think it deserves to be nominated. I'm glad it was. Like, it's very quality. Whoever that freaking German actress is, what's her name?
Sandra Hüller?
Okay. Yeah, she...
How do you pronounce the U with the 2 dots over it? Hüller?
I don't know. Heuler, maybe?
Okay. Well, that was Sandra.
She's so good. Like, really, really good.
It is interesting to think about. She doesn't really grieve, I feel like. I almost feel like the times that she cried is just her being stressed out about the situation.
Well, that's her personality.
I know, it's just interesting like that they chose that type of character for this movie. Yeah.
I liked it, though, because she expresses a lot in how she doesn't express things.
Yeah.
Which, like, that's tough to do as an actor or an actress, and she does it really well. So, like, the times when she does break down, you believe it.
Yeah.
She's not hamming it up at all. It feels like a real person. And, like, the fights that... There's a videotape or an audio recording. This is another, like, little piece of really good editing. So they discover an audio recording because they're both authors, basically, the husband and the wife. And the husband has not been very successful and the wife has at writing books. And the husband started to record like conversations in everyday life just to like help get inspiration for characters in his books. And this is one of the recordings, and they find this and bring it to the trial because it was a fight that happened right before,
like the day before he died.
Yeah, right before the accident. And so they start playing the tape in the court, and you see all the people, all the faces of the people in the court listening to the recording. You can hear the recording, and then it like cuts seamlessly to like a flashback where they're having this conversation.
It jumps into them having this fight, and you can see it visually.
And it's just, I love little things like that, little edits like that. And that scene, those two are so freaking good.
Yeah.
It's like...
It's a real fight.
I would compare it to the Marriage Story fight. The Marriage Story fight is definitely way more over the top.
Yeah.
And this one is way more
different
realistic. And it's just like, it builds, and it starts out fine, starts out friendly. And then it like...
bickering.
And then a little bit of bickering, and then it just crescendos to this ending. And then they cut back to the court for the ending. So you don't actually see the end, because like they start getting physical with each other.
Yeah.
So then it cuts back, and it's really great. And that's like another thing I like about this movie, is I feel pretty sure that she didn't do it, but they leave it just open enough where you're like, I'm pretty sure she didn't do it, but I'm not 100% sure. Like the end of that fight, they don't show what happened at the end of that fight.
And then they ask her what happened.
And then she says, the sound that you heard was
I slapped him.
Me throwing the wine glass, and then, or he threw the wine glass, and then I slapped him, and then...
He was throwing picture frames, and then he was hitting himself, and it's like, why was he, just...
Which, like, I believe her, because she's...
Except that they'd shown in court that she'd lied about things.
About,
some
like,
things.
affairs and stuff.
That, and how she got that bruise on her arm.
Right.
And there was, like, one other thing where they were like, we asked her, and then we asked her again the next day, and she had lied.
But also, like, by the end, the reason I say that I'm pretty sure she didn't do it is there's some, like, pretty strong circumstantial evidence at the end that the husband committed suicide. But it's just, like, the director and the writers are trusting the intelligence of the audience.
And that's good.
Yeah.
We need more movies like that.
Because, like, it's not totally resolved.
Even though I didn't love this, I like that the makers of this movie gave the viewers some credit.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, like, this is definitely not going to be for everybody, but if you like courtroom dramas, if you like personal dramas, and you are a fan of watching really good performances, if you didn't think Marriage Story was boring, if you like Pina...
I don't think that was the issue with Marriage Story for a lot of people.
What was the issue? It was too sad?
Mm-hmm.
If you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, if you're not into yoga, you should watch this movie. Because I think it's really, really well done.
Alright. Let's move on. I have read a lot of books recently. Okay, so the way that I'm going to do this is a little bit different because I have so many books to get through. I'm just going to say if it's worth reading or not.
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Yeah. Okay. So these first two books I read on our trip. They're both by Taylor Jenkins Reid. The first one is After I Do, and it's basically this couple that's going through marriage issues, and they decide to take a year off, and after a year, they'll reassess if they still want to be together. Thumbs up. This book is worth reading.
Okay.
I really liked it. The next one is Daisy Jones and the Six, and it's about a band and their struggles.
I overheard you reading this.
Yeah, and they invite someone else to come and feature on an album, or maybe possibly join their band. It's good. They made a TV show. It's on Amazon Prime. Watch the TV show instead.
It's better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to give this a thumbs to the side. If you have nothing else to read, read it, but watch the TV show. So these next two books are both by Kristen Hanna. The first one is The Great Alone, and it's about a couple and their daughter. So this small family who the dad has PTSD from Vietnam and continues to move them all over the place because he thinks this will make him happy. Because he's not well balanced in his head. He moves them.
It'll make him happy.
That's what he keeps thinking.
This time.
And the mom is a pushover when it comes to him and all that. He moves them to Alaska in like at the beginning of the summer, in the middle of the summer, and them having to deal with the winter coming and just adapting to all of that and survival and all of that. It's really good. This is definitely a thumbs up, worth reading. The next book, Winter Garden, also by Kristen Hanna, is about a family who parents and two daughters.
Parents? Oh, okay.
And the dad dies, and the mom has been super non-involved in the kids' lives. She's Russian. She won't tell them about anything about herself. She won't ask the kids anything about them. They're adults now when their dad dies, and it's them kind of finding a relationship with their mom. This one's a thumbs to the side. If you have nothing else to read, it's worth reading. I didn't love it. The last book that I read is The Rocket Boys by Homer H. Hickam Jr.
Wait, his dad's name was Homer too?
Yeah.
What was his name in the movie? It was like Henry or something.
But in the book, like, everybody called him Sonny.
Right.
The kid.
Okay.
And this is about...
This is the book that is
October
adapted.
Sky.
Yeah, October Sky is adapted from this book.
And so this is about, like, during the space race time.
Yeah.
These boys got super into rockets and testing them and all this, and
from West Virginia.
From West Virginia, a super small town, mining town.
Yeah, so like
in the 50s.
Everyone in that town went to the mines.
Yeah.
Or a few got out on a football scholarship.
Yeah.
But if you didn't, then you were going to work in the mines.
Yeah.
And get black lung disease and die from that one day, probably.
Yeah. And so they started this out as the space race. You know, they saw Sputnik go across the sky late at night, and he's like, I'm going to go work for NASA. So he starts building rockets, and he has his friends help and all that, and it's the story of that. This is a thumbs up. Read the book. Watch the movie.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that movie,
October Sky.
I'll probably do a special video about it.
It's so good.
Yeah.
The movie does do a really good job of following the book. And I understand why they made the changes that they did, but the book is also great.
Okay.
So, that was a speed round of everything that I've read in the last few weeks.
Alright. Okay, so this book I actually finished right before our voyage, and I chose it because... Where are you, you little piece of bitch?
You old son of a bitch! Shut your mouth, Morty, you little piece of F. You little piece of S.
Finished there. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to pull up the details of this title on my nifty Audible app real quick. This is called The Roman Empire, From Augustus to the Fall of Rome, by Gregory S. Aldrete and one more. So this is a bunch of... Well, it's really like one professor, and it's a lecture series. The professor is Gregory S. Aldrete of the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay. Apparently he's acclaimed, it says.
Oh, sorry.
He's won awards. He's thought of well. You know, he's regarded highly. But this is exactly what it sounds like. It's a series of lectures that covers the Roman Empire from Augustus, which was the start of the empire, until the fall of Rome. And it's really interesting. And I chose it because we went to Rome. That was our vacation. Rome and some other southern Italian cities. It was very informational. Lots of things I didn't know before. It's cool. He makes history come alive.
It was funny because Braden finished this either right before the trip or on the plane over to Italy. And one of the first days we were in Rome, we did a guided tour of the Colosseum. And our tour guide, shout out to Alessandra.
She's so good.
So good. And we were talking to her afterwards. And it was so awesome to see Brayden and her talking about this, because it's something that she's very passionate about. Roman history and all of that.
Yeah, because she's Roman.
Yeah. You can tell that she's very passionate about this. And she was just so impressed by all the things Brayden was asking, and just them being able to talk in depth about Roman history was kind of cool, and I hope she enjoyed it, you know?
Yeah, because there was one comment she made, I can't remember if she said this in English or Italian, but she was like, there's a lot of Italians that don't know.
Yeah, she said that
some
in
of this stuff. Okay. Yeah, that was really validating. I liked that a lot. But it's just a fascinating period of history. It's like they've left their mark on the world in more ways than you probably realize.
Yeah.
That law, basically, most common law can trace its roots back to Rome. A lot of modern
civilization.
A lot of aspects of modern civilization traces its roots back to Rome. Those cold plunges that you guys love doing, that's a Roman thing.
Why are you saying you guys? You literally did one today.
Yeah, I know. Well, anyway. Just so much stuff that you'll learn and be interested by, I hope, I think. It is a lecture series, so it's not going to be narrative, if that's what you're used to. And it's also not like some of the other nonfiction books that I've talked about, the Pirate book, the Medici book. Those felt like stories. This one feels like a lecture series, because that's exactly what it is. But it's good. And I'll give it a thumbs up. You should look into it.
Okay, what do we have coming up?
Well, I feel like there's so much stuff that we need to talk about.
Beyond the Pines?
Yeah, so we watched The Place Beyond the Pines. That'll be
next week, I think. Oh.
I knew you'd like that movie. I've been trying to get Micah to watch that movie for, I don't know, a year. And she never wanted to. And then for some reason it worked this time.
I don't know.
What? Are we almost done with any shows?
No.
Oh, I've been watching Shogun. So I'll probably have that. Actually, I don't know if the first season is wrapped up yet or not.
I don't know. But The Place Beyond the Pines we'll probably talk about next week, and then we'll have some other things.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, well, shorter episode this week, but...
Yeah. So follow us on YouTube.
But great value for time because of your speed round. You're welcome, America.
I really did all those books in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was good. So you're all caught up on books now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll probably finish one by next week, but we'll see.
I probably will too.
Anyways, follow us on all socials and
Micah's,
YouTube.
You've been playing Prince of Persia. Are you going to talk about it?
Are you going to let me do our outro or what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you going to talk after?
What do you mean? Talk after when?
After the outro.
Or after you start?
Both.
I guess it's the same question, isn't it? I'm going to let you finish.
Okay, follow us on all socials, especially YouTube, @ThisIsReviewable. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.